The stream is live. Hello and welcome, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you're joining the most amazing Simone Zucker, all the way from. Are you in Germany today or somewhere
No,
else?
I'm in Copenhagen, still Europe, but like more to the north.
Nice. Well, welcome and thank you for being our guest. Jump off the cliff. Off the effing ESB cliff. So, do you remember your first ever ESB class with Dane, and where were you, and what happened?
I remember clearly because it was 2015, my very first bigger life class, and it was great. And at that time, I had my first ESB was a bit different than others because I have been asked to do the bookshop, but I've never seen a bookshop before. I was literally saying yes to something I've never seen before. I didn't have a reference point. I just said yes to it. Why not? Means I had a job in this class, means there was no way my mind could follow the class, which I now can acknowledge that led the ESB in a such different way because my mind was busy doing my job there. But the energy just like, and I remember Dane saying, you will have change from this class at least like the greatest change from this class you will receive 6 months later. And I could literally experience that, how this class kept unraveling my world and changing the limitations and changing my life.
That is an amazing acknowledgement of just brilliantly well put for how we can even begin to describe without defining the absolute unfathomable experience that an ESB class is. Thank you, Simone. That was beautifully said. And for those of you wondering, so a lot of the classes around the world have a bookshop, a traveling bookshop, and so Access Consciousness has a lot of books written. And so Simone is referring to, she was the lady, she was the bookkeeper. She was taking care of the books and helping them find new homes in class. So that's an amazing story. So did you, like within the class, were you able to, did you get up to the microphone? Did you ask Dane questions? Were you a bit, not sure at that stage? Because it can be a little bit, oh, what do I do here when you go to a class?
I didn't ask any question. Like, I didn't ask a question, but mostly everyone that was on the table became friends with me later. Like, it was so interesting. The whole class was like a completely different experience for me. And you know what? Like, my second ESB was like years later, and I would like to jump to that because there I did ask questions. And I like mostly the beginning of the year look through the access classes and like, okay, what would I like to do this year? And I saw ESB Tokyo and I'm like, oh my God, I've never done an ESB again. Why not? That class changed so much for me. Why didn't I choose it again? Because I was on the way to CF and then like you go for the prereqs. Like, fuck, let's go to Tokyo. And then I like with this class, oh my God, I created so many interesting things. And it's also like, if you asked for something, everything that's not matching with your ask is just coming to your face and you need to make different choices for this to actually be. So yeah, I love ESVs so much and they're so undefined.
Yeah.
They bring it, like they're not bringing, like there is a change your being is choosing. It's not a cognitive thing. It's just being in that energy of being, your being, everyone else exiting more of their being. It's just something that allows you to change without effort, I would say.
Yeah. And again, it's like try and put words to something that is pretty much purely energetic. You walk in one person and you walk out even an hour after that first hour of class and you change. And after the first day, you change. And after the second, third, and like you say, oh yeah, ad infinitum into the future, you as the being, it's like who you be, who you truly be actually starts to come forth and gets to see the light of day, and everything that you thought you were just, it's like it just melts away. It's not some big cathartic, painful, agonizing change. It's just this, everything just melts away that isn't you. And it allows that, the true being that you are, the magic, the joy, the brilliance, all your own hidden capacities, that part of you starts to wake up and get to see the light of day. And so the choices that you've made, you know, from 2015, did you say your first ESB class?
Yeah.
So the choices that you've made with your life, like if you had to look at your life 2014 to 2025, so that's give or take 10 years, how different is your life now, and how different are you to who you were, you know, 10 years ago?
I would say there's literally nothing the same anymore. Nothing. Like, and not just once, everything changed completely. Like from my business, from the body, from money flows, like everything, relationships, everything. It's wild in a way. And amazing. And I'm also like, I know you do too. Like I have the Access Me app where I'm listening to old classes. Like, and now I can listen to my very first ESB class, and I have not done that yet, but I will. Because like, as I said, I could not cognitively, I was so busy with doing my job good that I'm now curious what the conversations have been at that time even. And yeah, there's so much, and I know for a lot of people, change seems a word like, oh, I don't want to have change, because like
Very.
But the thing is, we love changing, like to acknowledge, like if things are always the same, we are bored. It's more our surrounding has an interesting time us changing. But what if we can enjoy that, and like getting tools how to ease that process for you and everyone around you.
Yeah, and a lot of that change is not cognitive, you know, it's not something that you can cut out and put down on the table or prove. You sense that change in your very being, how you interact with people, how you live life, the choices that you make, the directions you go in, the quality of your relationships. And it's like this organic, osmotic shift of energy around your body, your being, your life, your living, your future. Everything starts to kind of transmute into something greater and a lot more congruent, a lot more suited to you. So it's like this incredible ground and space where, you know, Daynard's is magic energetic fertilizer, and like Simone's beautifully expressing, that it wakes up parts and pieces of you that some parts you know you have, but you may have lost through life situations or, you know, things that have occurred, but it also brings out parts of you that you didn't even know you had. And I know for me, I remember walking out of that class after the first day, which was pretty, it was daunting the first day for me, because I didn't really know, my being wanted to go, but I'm like, oh, I could feel myself resisting it and avoiding it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I've learned now that anything I resist or avoid, okay, let's go, girlfriend. Let's jump in and receive what's actually available and on offer here. So I remember coming out of that first day, it was like somebody hit the refresh button on me, and I had a level of joy and like this bubbling enthusiasm for living again. It was like I was this child again with this absolute wonderment and awe of the world. And for me personally, ESB is like hitting the refresh button, and it just gets off all the crap that isn't you, that you may have accumulated, and allows that, just the joy of being alive, the joy of being exploring and adventuring with who you are. So how many ESB classes have you done, Simone, now? I'm curious, because this is another question. I've always pondered this, how many, you know, times people choose this class.
It's not an easy question, because I made the choice, like with getting to know the tools. I did from the beginning 1 class a month since 10 years. Even at the time I didn't, and like in the beginning, I didn't have the money. Like I started my journey in Access with not even having 20 euros to buy food. Okay. So that was with my boyfriend at the time, whatever. But like by now it's way more than 1 class a month. And that's kind of from the beginning, that was like, because I could experience the more, like when I'm in class, I'm so much more myself, so much more me. And then, okay, if that's what's it's required, let's do it. Why not, you know? And I have another thing, like sometimes Dane does ESCs in the ESB classes. Sometimes he does, sometimes he does not. Like that's not a rule. But in that class, he did an ESC, and where he goes around and touches the bodies. And as he was on our table, he said, don't look for my magic, ask for yours. And I'm like, damn, I am so good and copy paste. Like copying people was like my survival mode. I guess my coping mechanism in life with everything. Like I just, oh, that's good. I have that. I just copied it. And I'm so good with that. And that made me like, oh, look for yours, ask for yours. Like, this is new. And it sparked my curiosity. And then sometimes, if you have been in an access class, sometimes like when he goes around with the mics, the sound with the speakers get like, and everyone, like sometimes the sound gets weird. And I remember I did something that's not allowed, but I just recorded on my phone because I'm such an impatient person. I record on my phone the ESC because I want to listen in the evening already, like just for me. I'm not sharing it. It's just, and then I listen to that every night. And at a certain point, and like there was always after like 5 minutes that noise and you wake up again. And after a while that disappeared. And I was like, wow, Susie's brilliant. She just made the noise go away. And then I went, wait, I recorded that. I changed the recording for it to be easier to be listened to. Like, what else can we do?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So an ESC is energetic synthesis of communion, and it's like a kind of a group meditation. That's probably a very gross way to explain this incredible journey that Simone's talking about. And it's another of Dane's many, many capacities and talents where he's able to tap into your world and use the group's energy to shift whatever's going on for them and their bodies and open up more possibilities for the future. So thank you, Simone. This has been an awesome invitation. And I look forward to seeing you again somewhere around the world, because I know we've been in classes together in multiple locations around the world. So who knows where I'll get to see and be with you again. So thank you for being an amazing guest and for sharing your journey with ESB.
Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to more magic on this journey.
Yay. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.